Welcome to the longest running quiz show in the area. Categories. High school students compete to answer questions on topics from art to science, history to current events. And now, here's your categories host, John Bartell.
Hi, welcome to Categories. Today we're bringing you our consolation match of our 2010-2011 playoffs here in the category season. It is the Blue Valley North Mustangs being coached by Jonah Baldwin versus the Shawnee Mission West Vikings coached by Cynthia Ellis. Let's go ahead and meet our competitors. First from the Mustangs.
Will Bergman, senior.
Charlie Wallach, I'm a senior.
I'm John, I'm a senior.
I'm Rex, I'm a senior.
I'm Reed, I'm a senior.
And our competitors from Shawnee Mission West.
I'm Victor and I'm a senior.
I'm Evan, I'm a senior.
I'm Colin, I'm a junior.
I'm Hannah, I'm a sophomore.
I'm Ryan, I'm a sophomore.
Fantastic. And here on Categories in the playoffs, as it is in the regular season, we will start off with the first round in which a team will be asked a question. If the team responds incorrectly, the other team will get a chance to steal. We did a coin toss before we started taping, and it was won by Shawnee Mission West, so Vikings. Here is the first category. It is U.S. history. What event prompted the installation of the Washington-Moscow hotline? Victor.
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
That is correct. Mustangs, vocabulary is your category. What is the name for a dictionary which has not been shortened? Charlie?
Unabridged.
Unabridged is correct. Vikings, current events is the category. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled in favor of what group in a case involving public protests? Cole.
Westboro Baptist Church.
That is the answer we're looking for. Blue Valley North, Shakespeare is the category. Finish the line from Shakespeare. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come not to bury Caesar. John?
But to honor him.
I cannot take that. I'm sorry. Vikings, chance to steal this Shakespeare quote. Finish the line from Shakespeare. Friends, Roman, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar. Not to praise him. Praise him is what we were looking for. Vikings, you do get the next category, art, weaving. What name is given to any type of framework that is used for weaving fibers to make cloth? Hannah?
A loom.
A loom is correct. Mustangs, U.S. geography is your category. Name the 3 non-coastal states that border the Pacific Coast states. Time on that. Vikings, chance to steal this U.S. geography category. Name the 3 non-coastal states that border the Pacific Coast states. Cole?
Idaho, Nevada, and Arizona.
Those are the 3. Vikings, you get the next category, health and medicine. The advertising of what product on television ended on January 1st, 1971, banned by the government edict because of health hazards? Cole?
Cigarettes.
Cigarettes is correct. Mustangs, vocabulary, and it's a multiple choice question. 2 witnesses are suspected of collusion. In this sentence, the word collusion means most nearly a conflict of interest, an unintentional error, an illegal secret agreement, or financial irregularities. Charlie.
Illegal secret agreement.
That is the one we're looking for. West, government, terminology is your category. Give the phrase for any small tropical country in the Western Hemisphere whose economies are largely dependent on foreign capital. Cole?
Banana Republic.
Banana Republic is what we're looking for. Mustangs, sports history is your category. What city hosted the first baseball all-star game? Will?
Boston.
It is not Boston. Vikings, chance to steal the sports history category. What city hosted the first baseball all-star game? Victor?
Chicago.
It is Chicago at Comiskey Park. West, world history is the next category. When was the Panama Canal finally opened? Cole?
1920.
That is incorrect. Mustangs, chance to steal this world history category. When was the Panama Canal finally opened? Charlie?
1914.
It is 1914. Very good. Mustangs, science, astronomy is the next category for you. We've all seen the group of stars we call the Big Dipper. How many stars make up the Dipper? Charlie?
7.
It is 7. West, poetry is your category. On a Grecian urn, on melancholy, and to a nightingale are all what kind of poem? Victor?
Odes.
They are odes. Very good. Mustangs, world geography is your category. What island of the British West Indies has St. John's as its capital? Time on that. Vikings, chance to steal this world geography category. What island of the British West Indies has St. John's as its capital? Ryan?
Barbados.
It is not Barbados, it's Antigua. Shawnee Mission West, economics is your next category. That zealous champion of British imperialism, Cecil Rhodes, founded in the 1880s the South Africa's De Beers Mining Company, which still controls the world's market of what substance? Evan?
Diamonds.
Diamonds is correct. Blue Valley North, movies is your category. The 11 Oscars won by The Lord of the Rings tied a record held by 2 other films. Name either one. Charlie?
Ben-Hur.
Ben-Hur is one, and the other would be Titanic. Shawnee Mission West, mythology. After slaying Medusa, Perseus approached a Titan for refreshment but was refused. Perseus showed him the head of Medusa and turned him into a North African. Victor?
Atlas.
It is Atlas. Blue Valley North, U.S. history. It's a fairly long question. In his native England, he was a failure several times over. At the age of 37 in 1774, he sailed to the colonies with both a letter of introduction from Ben Franklin and an abiding hatred of the rigidly structured English society. He thought of George III as a hardened, sullen-tempered pharaoh and a royal brute. He coined the name the United States of America. Who was he? Charlie?
Patrick Henry.
It is not Patrick Henry. Vikings, your chance to steal this U.S. history category. In his native England, he was a failure several times over. At the age of 37 in 1774, Cole?
Thomas Paine.
It is Thomas Paine. And thank you for not letting me finish that entire paragraph. Appreciate that. Vikings, you have the next category, and it is science, chemistry. Give the chemical name for this compound, HNO3. Evan?
Nitric acid.
It is nitric acid. Mustangs, general knowledge is your category. This trademarked product of DuPont has a density of only 1.4 times that of water, but 5 times the strength to weight ratio of steel. Name this material commonly used to strengthen radial tires and bulletproof clothing. Charlie?
Kevlar.
It is Kevlar. U.S. history, Shawnee Mission West. Identify the tribe of this Native American. Geronimo. Ryan?
Apache.
He was Apache. Blue Valley North, languages, Latin is your category. Corpus delicti, D-E-L-I-C-T-I, is a Latin phrase for the body of a crime. It's sometimes misspelled as corpus delicti. D-I-L-E-C-T-I. What would the change, which would change the meaning to what? Charlie.
A body of language.
It is not body of language. Sorry. Shawnee Mission West, chance to steal this language's Latin category. Corpus delicti is a Latin phrase for the body of crime. Delicti spelled D-E-L-I-C-T-I. It's sometimes misspelled as corpus delicti, which would be spelled D-I-L-E-C-T-I, which would change the meaning to what? Cole?
A body that is tasty. I'm just kidding.
Sorry, cannot accept that either. It's a body of a loved one. Body of a loved one. West, you do get the next category. It is music. Sur la Mer is the title of the Moody Blues album in 1988. Translate the title. Ryan?
On the Master? No, never mind.
Not accepted. I'm sorry. Blue Valley North, you have a chance to steal this music category. Sur la Mer is the title of the Moody Blues album in 1988. Translate the title. Rex?
South Sea.
Cannot accept South Sea. We can accept on the sea. On the sea. Mustangs, you get the next category. Science fossils. In the fall of 1989, scientists found an unusual fossil, the bones of the hind legs of a mammal. This mammal, which once walked on all four legs, now has only the vestiges of these limbs in flippers and a pelvis. What is this animal? Reed?
The platypus.
It is not the platypus. West's chance to steal this science fossils category. In the fall of 1989, scientists found an unusual fossil, the bones of the hind legs of a mammal. This animal, which once walked on all four legs, now has only the vestiges of these limbs in flippers and a pelvis. What is this animal? Victor?
A whale.
It is a whale. Vikings, next category for you is literature. Starts off with a quote. On Friday noon, July the 20th, 1714, the finest bridge in all Peru broke and precipitated 5 travelers into the gulf below. This is the first line of what novel by what author? Mustangs, chance to steal this literature category. Starts off with a quote. On Friday noon, July the 20th, 1714, the finest bridge in all Peru broke and precipitated 5 travelers into the gulf below. This is the first line of what novel by what author? Charlie?
Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer.
That is incorrect. We're looking for The Bridge of San Luis Rey by Thornton Wilder. Mustangs, you do get the next category. It is U.S. history. San Diego's first mayor, Joshua Bean, was the older brother of what famous Texas judge? Charlie?
John Bean.
It is not John Bean. West, you have a chance to steal this U.S. history category. San Diego's first mayor, Joshua Bean, was the older brother of what famous Texas judge? Cole?
Jim Bean.
It is not Jim Bean, it is Roy Bean. Vikings, you do get the next category. World geography. What substance covers 95% of the 5th largest continent? Cole?
Ice.
Ice is the correct answer. And as we head into halftime right now, we have a score of Shawnee Mission West 14 and Blue Valley North 7. Usually during our regular season, we do go to a campus update for both schools, but during the playoffs here in the consolation, we will kind of show the people at home how each team got to this stage. In our first round of our playoffs, Blue Valley North was defeated by Blue Valley West, so Blue Valley West advanced to the championship game. And Shawnee Mission West, our number 3 seed, was defeated by Blue Valley High School as Blue Valley advanced to the championship game, and Shawnee Mission West is now playing here in our consolation game. As we head into our lightning round here on categories, we will do a look and listen question. Teams, remember, a look and listen question is worth 2 points, and the first team to ring in will get a chance to answer. If a team does respond incorrectly, the other team will get a chance to steal. So both teams, the look and listen question will be shown here in the studio and be shown on the people's televisions at home. All right, here we go. Look and listen. Within 5 years, When did the following event occur?
To many, success or failure of this experiment depended on the first president. On April 30th at Federal Hall in New York City, George Washington was sworn into office as the first president of the United States and the only president in history to have been elected unanimously. Washington's first presidential term focused largely on organizing the executive branch.
Charlie.
1790.
1790, we'll accept. That's within 5 years of 1789. And the lifelike rendition of that was excellent, I thought. It's like I was there. All right, as we head into the rest of our lightning round, the question is placed on the floor for either team to answer. If a team does respond incorrectly, the other team will get a chance to steal. So both teams, here we go. Our category is art. Norman Rockwell once painted a series of 4 posters. The inscription on top of one of them was each according to the dictates of his own conscience. These paintings illustrated which of the 4 freedoms? John.
Freedom from what?
That is incorrect. Vikings, you have a chance to steal this art category. Norman Rockwell once painted a series of 4 posters. The inscription on top of one of them was each according to the dictates of his own conscience. These paintings illustrated which of the 4 freedoms? Evan.
Freedom of will.
Cannot accept that. I'm looking for freedom of worship. Freedom of worship. Both teams, science for both teams. Here we go. What mollusk, sometimes called the devilfish, has a parrot-like beak encircled by 8 arms? Cole.
Cuttlefish.
Cannot accept cuttlefish. Mustangs, chance to steal this science category. What mollusk, sometimes called the devilfish, has a parrot-like beak encircled by 8 arms? Reed.
The octopus.
It is the octopus. Literature for both teams. What court does Bob Woodward describe in The Brethren? Charlie.
Supreme Court.
It is the Supreme Court. Math for both teams. A system of equations is inconsistent and independent if it has no what? Charlie.
Solution.
Solution is correct. General knowledge proverbs for both teams. I'll explain it prosaically, and you recite the proverb. Here we go. When visiting a foreign land, follow the customs of those who... Hannah.
When in Rome.
When in Rome, that is acceptable. World history for both teams. Give me the one-word adjective that some historians use to describe the glorious revolution of 1688 that ended the rule of King James II of England. Cole.
Bloodless.
Bloodless is correct. Science for both teams. With what characteristic of the Earth is the value of 23.5 degrees associated? Cole.
Its tilt.
Its tilt is correct. Both teams, literature is the category. What American playwright modeled a large portion of his work on Greek tragedy? Examples are Iceman Cometh and Long Day's Journey. Charlie.
Tennessee Williams.
That is incorrect. West, chance to steal this literature question. What American playwright modeled a large portion of his work on Greek tragedy? Examples would be Iceman Cometh and Long Day's Journey. Eugene O'Neill. Eugene O'Neill. Military history for both teams. Name the first head of state ever toppled by U.S. military action and then hauled before an American bar of justice. Hannah.
Saddam Hussein.
It is not Saddam Hussein. Mustangs, chance to steal this military history category. Name the first head of state ever toppled by U.S. military action and then hauled before an American bar of justice. Will.
Jefferson Davis.
It is not Jefferson Davis. It's Manuel Noriega. Manuel Noriega. Geography for both teams. Name the only nation which has coastlines on both the Persian Gulf and the Red Sea. John.
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia is correct. Science, medicine for both teams. Victims of this disease constitute 50 to 60% of the people in nursing homes. This insidious and heartbreaking malady of advanced age. Charlie?
Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's is correct. U.S. government for both teams. What is the supreme law of the land in the United States? Cole.
The Constitution.
The Constitution is correct. Literature for both teams. Arthur Miller won a Pulitzer Prize for Death of a Salesman. The main character was Willie Loman. What was Willie's wife's name? Cole?
Margaret.
It is not Margaret. Mustangs, chance to steal this literature category. Arthur Miller won a Pulitzer Prize. Read.
Mary.
It is not Mary, it's Linda. Linda Loman. Both teams, U.S. history is the category. The bald eagle is the national symbol of the United States. Read.
I was going to say the United States.
Cannot accept the United States for the answer on this one. Vikings, chance to get this U.S. history category. The bald eagle is the national symbol of the United States and can be found on the Great Seal of the United States. Tell me what is in its beak. Hannah.
Olive branch.
Cannot accept olive branch. It's the banner with the motto E pluribus unum. Both teams, history, explorers for both. Here we go. Can you name the European adventurer who served as mayor of Yangzhou for 3 years? Hannah?
Marco Polo.
It is Marco Polo.
Cool.
Geography, Central America. It's never been invaded, nor it has ever invaded another nation. It's never had a coup or a military government. This makes it unique among Central American nations. Name this English. Charlie?
Belize.
It is Belize. Literature for both teams. Eliza escapes from a slave trader named Haley in a flight across a partially frozen river. This occurs in what 1852? Ryan?
Uncle Tom's Cabin.
Uncle Tom's Cabin is what we were looking for. Math, terminology for both teams. In differential calculus, what quality of a function tells how the dependent variable tends to change with respect to the independent? John?
Derivative.
Derivative, very good. Science for both teams. What is the name of a three-dimensional image produced by laser light? Cole?
A hologram.
Hologram is correct. Music, instruments for both teams. Name this instrument played by mouth. It goes back to the Greek word for agreement. What is it? Hannah?
Piccolo.
It is not piccolo. Blue Valley North, chance to get this music instruments category. The name of this instrument played by mouth goes back. Rex?
Accordion.
It is not accordion, it's harmonica. Harmonica. Geology for both teams. What is the class of rocks that were formed in layers underwater? Cole?
Sedimentary.
Sedimentary is correct. Journalism for both teams. Walter Cronkite said it was first used in 1952 for not exactly a reporter, not exactly a commentator. What's the word? Will?
Editorial.
It is not editorial. Vikings, chance to take this journalism category. Walter Cronkite said it was first used in 1952 for not exactly a reporter, not exactly a commentator. What's the word? Evan?
Correspondent.
It is not correspondent. We're looking for anchor. Anchor. Both teams, vocabulary is the category. What two-word phrase containing a synonym for policeman means to avoid committing oneself in a situation where to do so might cause controversy or unpleasantness? Charlie?
Cop out.
Cop out. Exactly right. U.S. government is the next category for both teams. Fairly long. It's a long description here. Here we go. She was born in Birmingham, Alabama in 1954 and was named by her pianist mother for the Italian musical term meaning with sweetness. Ryan?
Condoleezza Rice.
Condoleezza Rice. Very good. Film for both teams. The 2005 Academy Award winner for Best Music Score was to what Johnny Depp, Kate Winslet movie? Hannah?
Oh, I thought I was going to say The Tourist that came out this year.
Cannot accept that. I'm sorry. Mustangs, chance to steal this film category. In 2005, the 2005 Academy Award winner for Best Music Score was what Johnny Depp and Kate Winslet movie? Will?
Alice in Wonderland.
I'm sorry, cannot accept that. It's Finding Neverland. Finding Neverland. Fine arts, painters for both teams. The motionless figures in the 17th century Dutch artist's timeless still life world do not seem frozen, but very much alive in the ingeniously lighted interior scenes. One of his best loved works, An Artist in His Studio. Name this artist. Charlie?
Rembrandt.
It is not Rembrandt. Vikings, chance to steal this fine arts painters category. Ryan?
Vermeer.
Vermeer is correct. Literature for both teams. In the adventures of Tom Sawyer, Injun Joe kills the doctor, but who is blamed for the crime? Charlie?
Huck Finn.
That is not true. Vikings, chance to steal this literature category. In the adventures of Tom Sawyer, Injun Joe kills the doctor, but who is blamed for the crime? Looking for Muff Potter. Muff Potter. Math is the next category for both teams. If the area of a base of a rectangular solid is tripled, what is the percent increase in its volume? Cole?
900%.
I cannot accept that. Mustangs, chance to steal this math category. If the area of the base of a rectangular solid is tripled, what is the percent increase in its volume? John?
300.
Cannot accept 300. We were looking for 200. 200. Science, zoology is the next category for both teams. What is the largest animal in the pig family? Hannah?
The boar?
It is not the boar. Blue Valley North, chance to steal this science zoology category. What is the largest animal in the pig family? Charlie?
The rhinoceros.
It is not the rhinoceros, it's the hippopotamus. Hippopotamus. World religions for both teams. Arrange these great religious leaders in chronological order. There are 4 of them. Chronological order. Luther, Paul, Confucius, and Buddha. Cole.
Confucius, Paul, Buddha, Luther.
That is incorrect. Mustangs, chance to get this last question. Will?
Buddha, Confucius, Paul, Luther.
That too is incorrect. It's Confucius, then Buddha, then Paul, and lastly, Luther. But that does bring a conclusion to our consolation game as Shawnee Mission West takes the match 24 to Blue Valley North 17. Congratulations to Shawnee Mission West for placing 3rd in this year's tournament. We will do an awards assembly here shortly as we call the coaches into our studio. I'd like to congratulate both teams for doing a wonderful job during the regular season to earn berths into the tournament this year. And I would like to call out Coach Baldwin from Blue Valley North to present to him this 4th place trophy. Nice job, Coach. And here is a microphone that if you would like to go over and say a few words about your team's performance.
Sure. There you go. I want to thank all of these seniors. They're going to be leaving the hallowed halls of the categories filming studio this year, but I'm sure that they'll look back with many, many fond memories. And they've performed extremely well this year. And there's no doubt that if we were being judged on the basis of humorous responses, we would have been champions. So congrats and good luck in the future, you guys.
And at this time, I'd like to call on Coach Ellis from Shawnee Mission West, who placed 3rd in this year's tournament after losing a close, very close double overtime battle in our first round. Congratulations, Coach, to a wonderful season. And if you would like to remember to say a few words, that'd be wonderful.
I'd like to present this to Victor Zaharopoulos and Evan Williams, our 2 seniors, and thank them for 4 years of dedication and leadership. Our junior and sophomores will we know have a stellar season next year, but this has been the wrap-up of 4 dynamic, wonderful years. Thank you again. Shawnee Mission West, always a Viking.
And fantastic. And as we draw a conclusion to today's match, we do have one more game to go in our championships next week as we bring you Blue Valley West taking on Blue Valley High School. So join us again next week right here in Categories as we bring you the best and brightest minds of high school students all across Johnson County.